Listen, if you don't know the real reason people are buying health insurance, you're missing out on sales, and we're going to fix it in this video.
Look, insurance sucks. I'll just make it suck less.
Hey, thanks for watching this video. My name is Brad Hannon. We created this channel specifically for agents like you to help you polish your skills, make more sales, and ultimately make more money in the health insurance space. You know, if this video helps you, if past videos have helped you, I would love for you to drop a comment, reach out to me directly. You know, I'm getting a ton of great feedback. The channel is getting a ton of traction, and we're so close to 1,000 subscribers. So share the videos out there with your friends. Share the videos out there with your colleagues, and like, subscribe, throw me some comments, show me some love, and we'll jump right into it. So listen, today, or right now, we want to talk about the real reason you have health insurance, right? Not maybe you, but your clients. You probably have health insurance because you can't be out there selling it if you don't have it yourself, right? So when we're talking to clients, we use that expression a lot. The real reason you have health insurance, right? That's like a little bit of auto suggestion there, right? Just kind of getting your client's mind thinking in the way that is going to make it easier for you to make a sale, but ultimately the way that they should be thinking about health insurance, right? It never fails. You're going to talk to people who believe that their $200 premium, $100 premium, heck, even if it's a free plan, is there for them to help them with doctor's visits. But I'm here to tell you, insurance is not to cover doctor's visits, right? A long time ago when insurance was created in the health space, there was one primary reason, and it was to help you avoid bankruptcy due to medical bills, right? Which is the leading cause of bankruptcy in our country. Nobody's paying $2,400 a year, $3,600 a year, $4,800 a year so that they can go to the doctor a few times, right? The reality is you have health insurance for the big stuff, okay? For the stuff that you can't afford. You know, we always relate it to a car and an oil change, or a house and a broken window, right? I'm not making a homeowner's claim because somebody broke my window, hit a golf ball, right? I don't live on a golf course, so it'd be weird if somebody did that. But my window's got a crack in it or something. I'm not making a homeowner's claim, right? A shingle flies off my roof in the storm, not calling the homeowner's insurance, right? It'd have to be a pretty big claim for me to lean on my insurance for something like that. Now, health insurance does provide a lot of benefits on the day-to-day, and we cover that in the day-to-day section of the presentation. Okay, but all throughout the presentation, we are leading up to this point, which is, you know, hopefully a culmination of everything you've said, creating a belief in the client's mind that, you know what, this person, my agent that I'm talking to, is right. I should be paying attention to what the real, you know, big stuff is, right? Because a lot of your clients, a lot of the people you talk to, prospects, are going to be on ACA plans with high deductibles, you know, weren't properly sold with supplemental coverage. I mean, the amount of individuals out there that have self-enrolled in a plan on the marketplace that has a $7,000, $8,000 deductible that they can't use with no supplemental coverage is astonishing, right? Especially when you factor in how many agents there are trying to reach these people. Right? We are still, believe it or not, in an underserved niche, right? Health insurance is a very underserved niche on the individual side. So without further ado, let's jump into kind of the culmination, the close of the presentation, which is the catastrophic event, right? If you checked out the last video on accidents, we gave you a perfect segue into this section, right? Hey, we want to talk to you about and sometimes, a lot of times I'll say I mean, I'm not always referring to myself as in a team, right? We, but if you have an agency and you want to use we, you know, it makes a lot of sense that way as well. But, you know, listen, I want to talk to you about the most likely scenario, but also the most devastating. And that is kind of your worst case scenario, right? Those catastrophic major medical events. So what I want you thinking about, Eric, right? I've just been presenting to Eric the whole time because it's easy. He's right behind the camera. What I want you to think about, Eric, is what if you were hospitalized? You had a couple $100,000 in medical bills, right? That's the real reason you have health insurance. And so on this particular plan, okay, again, a great time for you to either upsell, or hopefully you've already bundled it into the quote, and you can now sell that critical illness benefit. The real reason you have health insurance, you have a couple $100,000 in medical claims. So let's say on this particular plan, and I always say this as well. I mean, literally, like, this is all the time. I don't want to use you as an example, Eric, right? Because I don't want to give you any bad juju, but let's say somebody else has the same plan, okay, and they were diagnosed with cancer. Okay, that person would get a $50,000 benefit, a $75,000, $60,000, $50,000, whatever the benefit amount you've bundled in there, right? We'll get a $10,000 benefit. That benefit, Eric, would be payable directly to you, right, if that was your situation. What you can do with that $50,000, you can take $5,000 of it, cover your out-of-pocket, right? Your deductible and max out-of-pocket is $5,000. You've now paid that off with money given to you by the insurance company. You've got $45,000 remaining. Listen, the reality is you can go to Vegas and you can put it all on black, right? That money is yours. You can do with it what you choose. Now, I will pause when I say that a little bit because it'll usually get a little bit of a chuckle. That's the reason for it, right? Is just to kind of break the ice. But also, I will then reel it right back in and get serious. But the reality is, right, that money is used for time out of work and lost wages. Maybe, right, you have to travel across the country to see a specialist. Listen, the reality on this plan is that the plan will travel with you, right? If you're selling a PPO, selling the network, right? This plan will travel with you anywhere in the country. And so not only will the plan travel with you, but you're also going to have $45,000 from that critical illness. That would be that would assist you with that travel, time out of work, lost wages. The reality is, if you're not going back to, I'm saying that a lot, if you're not going back to work, right, you're not making money. This is just to kind of ease that burden a little bit, right? I know J.R. Jordan says something along the lines of, if you were diagnosed with cancer, would you rather get a get well soon card in the mail or a check, right? Well, this is the check, and you're also going to get a get well soon card in the mail because I'm going to send you one myself. But with that get well card will be a $50,000 check to help ease the burden of that diagnosis that you just received. Now, if it was, and then this is where you can, that's where you're highlighting the critical illness, and then you can transition. But, if it wasn't cancer, heart attack, stroke, let's just say you had hundreds of thousands of dollars of medical claims, it was an outpatient procedure. It was, whatever the case is, you've got a $5,000 deductible max out of pocket. So that means that after you pay $5,000, the insurance company is on the hook for the rest. And that ultimately is what you really want to know. So Eric, when you lay your head down at night, you know that, hey, I've got $5,000. That's enough to cover my deductible and max out of pocket. If something major happens, that's what I'm on the hook for, right? So with that said, do you have any questions, or did I pretty much cover everything for you, right? So does that make sense? Or one of those things to kind of just check in. One of the reasons why we do this, and the thing I love most about this style of a presentation, is you've got your day-to-day, you've got your accident, you've got your catastrophic. You can just picture those as like little buckets. Any question that they ask at this point, a lot of times they're not going to ask questions. Any question they do ask is going to fit into one of those categories, right? If they're asking whether their doctors are in network, well, we know that's day-to-day. You should have hit on that during the day-to-day side. Day-to-day section. I really like to take, a good 5-10 minutes and be thorough with doctors, not just because that's really important, but also because it just gives them the feeling that they had a thorough presentation. If you go through a presentation in 5 minutes, someone's more than likely going to say no, not because they don't think it's a good plan, but more than likely because they're like, well, that was too fast. I must be missing something, right? So being thorough on that day-to-day section is important. But a lot of times there is no question, right, at the end of that presentation. And it's very simple to say, okay, great. So today is July 16th. I know you have coverage through the end of the month. We'll put this plan in place for July 1st. What's your middle initial, right? Would you like a middle initial on the card? That is the number one close that I use, right? It's an assumption close. Would you like a middle initial on your card? You can also use the effective date close, right? What would we like the effective date on this plan to be, right? I don't like that as much because it gives a lot of wiggle room. I really like, would you like a middle initial on the card? It's yes or no. If they say yes, we put a middle initial on the card. They say no, we just don't put the middle initial on the card, but we're still making the sale, right? We're assuming the close, because if you got through the plan from start to finish, we know it's in their budget. Okay, some of that stuff is done on the fact finding. We know it's within their budget. We know it's an improvement on the plan that they have currently. Whatever the selling points or the highlights are, we know that we have some small victories there. They don't have any major questions. We answered it all through the presentation. We're moving forward, right? And anytime you're not moving forward from that point and there are not questions, you've got to you've got to isolate the objective. There is an issue there. One of the more common, or one of the examples that pops in my head, I went through a great presentation, was saving a lady a bunch of money, better plan in my eyes. I couldn't, what's the reason we're not moving forward? I mean, I'm just curious. Like, I feel like we did a pretty good job of finding a better plan. Is there something I'm missing? Right? No, it's good. I like the plan. I'm not so sure that we want to go with it. Okay. Totally understand. So if I'm understanding you correctly, you like the plan. You think it does make more sense than the current plan that you have, but you're not going to move forward with it, and you don't necessarily have a reason. Listen, if that's the case, that's fine. You don't have to answer to me. I'm just making sure that I understand, right? I'm playing dumb. This is real. This is like a real situation. And the person said, well, it's not, listen, it's not that. It's the fact that, the plan only covers up to $1 million. It took me digging and digging and digging and digging, and then finally uncovered the one thing that was holding her back was that the plan had $1 million max. We switched it to 2 million, and boom, we got the sale, right? Like it was literally that easy. But 95% of agents aren't willing to stay on the phone and say, hey, wait, I got to understand that. Because for me, and I don't know about you, drop a comment if this drives you nuts, but like when I went through a sales process from start to finish and nailed every section or every part of it and got along great with the client and the client understood and didn't have major questions and it seemed like a better fit, and they say no, I can't sleep. I can't sleep for weeks, like maybe days, okay? But still, it just drives me absolutely crazy. And so isolate that objection and go right into that assumption close. Hope that helps. Like I said, drop a comment. Let me know if you add or take away things in your presentation. I want to hear about it. We're always fine tuning. We'd love to hear from you.
I'm a health insurance hustler. Bradley Hannon's the name. I'm here to teach these agents how to play the game. I'm a health insurance hustler. One thing you should know about me. I'm a health insurance hustler. BradHannon.com